So we can start. So good afternoon to everyone. So it's Florian speaking from Cegid. I already managed some webinar session during this period. So I'm pre-sales consultant for Cegid Retail Y2 system and also for all the mobile components that are associated to the core Y2 system. So today we will highlight a solution called Cegid Retail Inventory Tracking. So the purpose of this webinar is to explain how we can optimize your inventory process, how you can get the right inventory in your stores and create a good relation between your different stock location as a stores or as a warehouse. And I will explain that in different parts. So first, we will manage a quick introduction about the different challenges regarding this topic. And of course, we will focus on the features covered by inventory tracking application. We will highlight some use cases and we will benefit of a feedback from customers. So this morning during the French station, we had a success stories from Rossignol, so managed by Simon and Lucille. So I will highlight this part this afternoon because they were not available. So we will talk about the field feedbacks and how they implement inventory tracking in their network. So we will give you some tips regarding this topic. So a really quick introduction because I prefer spend more time in the features and use case topic. So just related the challenges, some details, some element to get to remind is more and more, and since after the pandemic periods, we notice that a lot of customer wants, of course, to decentralize their logistic to have and develop shorter delivery routes. So that means, for example, to develop a lot the transfer process between stores, because sometimes to serve an order, to deliver something to the customer, maybe as a store, it could be more interesting, to ask a transfer from another store which is close to mine, and not ask directly the central warehouse that can be too far, and maybe in terms of delivery, it could be longer than if I use the store possibility. So we know that we notice that more and more the different brands and have a look directly about the ability to manage shorter delivery routes, because you need to serve very quickly your customer. You need also to promote more environmentally friendly habits. That means to be able, if I have, for example, a merchandise in the same city in the other store, maybe it's better to ask for a transfer request and to manage this kind of process in order to first satisfy the customer and serve him quickly, but also to reduce, of course, the different issues that we can have when you need to supply your product, and for example the products come from very far. So to ask a shorter process and shorter delivery routes can be very interesting for that. And one of the major topic to optimize your inventory is first to be able, when you try to set up a really clean inventory process, to gain, in fact, real-time visibility. Because if, as a sales associate, I have a perfect vision of what is currently available in my store, what is available in the store closest to my store, maybe, of course, I can answer quickly to my customer, and I can respond to this new challenge, which is I have to serve the clients, I have to satisfy the clients, and I have to reduce the stockouts issues that we can have usually. Also, what is something important is, we noticed that the post-pandemic periods increase and accelerate a lot the omnichannel processes for the different retailers. We noticed that since many years, of course, when we talk about click and collect, when we talk about store reservation or web reservation, this is very common processes, but we noticed that more than 90% of retailers try or want to try right now these kind of processes, because they notice that thanks to that they are able to share real-time information and inventory information on their e-commerce platform. They can offer other services like the possibility to ask for a reservation for the consumer and to come in store to pick up the products with a payment or without a payment if you did and made a full deposit online. But this kind of process now become directly the norm for the brands, and we will try to highlight some omnichannel processes embed directly in the inventory tracking solution right now, because this is that makes sense. In fact, when we try to optimize, when you try to develop an omnichannel strategy and to set up omnichannel processes, before to do that, you have to master your inventory level. You have to be able to share this information and to have something with proof. I mean, to be able to give the good information at a good time to the other stores. If they ask for a transfer, they ask for that because they see your current inventory level. So if your inventory is correct, automatically you can set up some processes that we will discover together today. Also, in terms of challenges, so usually we talk a lot about the necessity to develop omnichannel processes, but what is important also is if I want to have something very smooth and that my sales associate execute very well in store, I need to have an application which have a user-friendly interface, which is very simple to take in hands, very simple to understand, and I will execute all my processes if I understood very quickly how the solution works. So that's why the staff experience is also a key topic when you try to implement a digital solution, a mobile solution. That was for if that concern sales topic or inventory topic. Today, for this inventory topic and the inventory tracking solution, the staff is a key user. So the sales associate, the store manager will be the key user before the implementation of this type of solution. Because if they like the tool, if they like the application, of course, we increase their productivity, we increase the way to use the application, and we accelerate, of course, the implementation of new services like the pickup in store, like the order processes, like the ship from store that we will highlight in a few minutes. So what you have to remind is we talk a lot about the consumer experience. So, but to align with that, we have to think also about the staff experience, which is a key topic. And for that, our vision since many years is to involve different profiles for this application development. I mean, today the trend is to develop and bring application that can embed new features, new services regularly. So for that, we need to insist on a cloud solution to deliver these features, to master the infrastructure and the updates. And of course, we have to think about the staff experience too. So to think on that and to succeed on this topic, we involve from the beginning of the development of this application, we involve our UX UI team department. They did a lot of models, they did a lot of user tests directly in store in order to have quick comments, quick feedback about the final users, and in order to understand if the interface is easiest to understand, if it's very smooth in terms of process, and if all the functions, all the features are well organized into the application. So for that, we noticed after many change, we noticed that we had a strong adoption from our customers regarding this application. And we will show you with the Rossignol feedback at the end that the adoption of the tool by the staff is one of the key success for this kind of projects. So, and we will highlight why this is simple to adopt this kind of application, because in terms of user interface, this is similar, whatever the process you need to cover. This is the same interface, and this is, if you understand one process, in fact, you understand, you will be able, sorry, to manage all the others processes that are already embedded into the solution. And in terms of deployment, this is a solution that is very fast in terms of implementation, because we will see that we have a web app for the configuration, just to define which are the settings, which are the fields that I want to display on the mobile application. So in terms of configuration, is very simple to manage. Usually you did the configuration during the project at the beginning, and after, this is only a daily using directly on the mobile application that you can install on an iOS system or Android operating system. So in terms of benefits, I would try to highlight that during the customer success feedback. One of the key topic is about the customer premise kept, because with this kind of solution, you are able to manage your different inventory process. That could be inventory movement, that could be cycle counts, that could be omnichannel processes, and the main goal as a user is to manage correctly your inventory, and to be able to serve whatever the sense, but to serve the customer. If the customer asks for an order regarding your store, if you don't have any merchandise available right now, with this tool, with this application, you will be able to ask for a transfer, to ask for an order and a delivery in store to serve the customer. So you will have all the tool embedded in one application, in a unique application, to serve quickly the customer. And of course, The way is, of course, to increase the product availability, because you will be able to control and check every day what is the current level of this merchandise in your store. If you don't have enough product physically present here, you can automatically do some processes from the application in order to have a replenishment of your store directly from the application. So you can initiate a lot of processes that I will highlight. So in terms of challenges, remind that with this application, we will try to cover two topics, which is, of course, the consumer experience, but to succeed on the consumer experience is to convince the staff and to have to leverage a staff experience with a good using of the application. And for that, Cegid Retail Inventory Tracking right now is an application available on different operating systems as Android and iOS. The main difference between the two systems is on Android, mainly our customer use the application on professional PDA, like provided by Zebra, provided by Honeywell or other hardware providers. On Android, what is interesting is, thanks to this hardware component, you have something very powerful in terms of scanning process, for example. And on iOS, when a brand wants to implement this application on an iOS system, so from the iPhone, we embed natively a kind of SDK that optimizes the scanning process, because by default, when you try to scan only with iPhone camera, sometimes it could be very tough to succeed in your scanning process. So that's why we work with different partners. So one is Scandit. For this one, you need, of course, to do a purchase of the Scandit license. But we have another SDK partner called Dynamsoft that can be natively embedded into the solution to optimize the scanning process from the iPhone hardware. Of course, this is a solution mainly provided in the SaaS model, but we have also some current on-prem customers that currently use also this application. The only difference is that the web app to configure the solution for on-prem clients need to be installed on the client server. This is one of the main difference in terms of implementation. And of course, in our current customers that can concern multi-network. It could be retailers that have only branches, or that can mix with branches, affiliates, franchise, and other structure. Sometimes some brands use temporarily this solution for shop-in-shop corner, for example, in a department store, just to have quickly a vision about the product which are available on the corner. They can, for example, do a quick inventory counts with this kind of solution to have a fast vision of the merchandise available. So in terms of features, we will highlight some of them during this session. So you will see that inside the solution, we embed, of course, the classic and standard inventory processes. So a key point before to go deeper into the features is the main interest of this solution. This is a front end that highlights inventory processes. This is a solution that can be connected in real time to the Y2 system. So thanks to the API, we can connect to the central database when the Wi-Fi is okay on the mobile, and automatically when I manage a document, when I validate the entry, the synchronization could be direct, and the information are sent directly to the Y2 central database. But from the beginning of this application, so if I remember well, we launched this application 4 or 5 years ago. From the first version, we embed into the solution a disconnected mode. So this is a kind of cache management that allow when you lost the connection, for example, in the back store, you can continue the activity, and it just so you can continue only with the document that are currently displayed on the application before the network lost. And during this period, you can continue your activity, and when you want to synchronize, you have many options. Either you can go back to an area where the Wi-Fi is on, and automatically the synchronization will be done with the central database. Or sometimes when the brand, and this is the case with Rossignol, when they use this application on professional PDA, sometimes with this hardware, you have additional components like a cradle or other components that allow you to extract the files and automatically to synchronize, but with a physical cable, of course, to synchronize with your POS system. So this is similar than the old school processes, if we can call that like that. But in terms of connected mode, of course, this is very interesting because the synchronization is automatic, and the information is directly visible on the Y2 platform. In terms of features, and I will highlight some of them with use cases, just to have in mind that the main features, the main inventory processes are already embedded into this application. So we talk about cycle counts. You have the ability to manage your stock taking process in many ways. It could be like a blind inventory when you want to do a global inventory of your store. So you can initiate the list on Y2 and send this list to the store automatically from the count menu on the top. You will receive this list, and you can manage the operation. But one of the main interest also of this solution is to add more features, like the way to manage cycle counts, but in a free way. So that means you can manage free inventory more frequently directly in your store, and automatically share this information to your head office, to your retail department, that give them automatically a vision about the products which are currently available in their stores. Of course, in terms of staff experience, what is interesting is we define different sections. You have a first one which concern the stock taking processes, but you have the major one here that concern the stock movements, the stock flows. So all the operation that are linked with delivery notice, with transfer notice, with special outputs or special inputs with reasons that I need to justify. All these processes are automatically embedded into this section. So in terms of user interface, user understanding, it's very simple to search the information. And of course, as I explained during the introduction, manage your inventory in the good and have a perfect vision about your stock level allow you to implement a good strategy in terms of omnichannel processes. So for the omnichannel processes, we will see together today that we can cover, for example, web orders processes like ship from store processes directly from the application. We can also manage a famous use case, which is the pick in store. That means when a store receives a reservation request from the web from a consumer, automatically it can, of course, manage the process with the POS, but the interest of this solution is to be able, with the PDA, for example, to go on the shop floor, to take the product, to scan the reference, to validate the reservation request, so to change the status of the document and to confirm or decline the reservation, and automatically manage the relation between the store and the consumer. A last topic is also that this solution embeds some general details, like the ability to have more than 20 languages embedded into this solution. So as you already manage the user's access right management in Y2, this is the same for inventory tracking. We have on the user access management like a dedicated menu for this application, where you can define the access right and the restriction for the different users. When you do that, automatically you customize and you adapt the interface regarding the user access rights. So if I'm not concerned by the stock movement, for example, I won't be able to see this section on my application with my user accounts. But if I am, for example, store manager, I can have access, for example, to all this section, and this configuration will depend, of course, about your policy, about your user rules, and it will depend of your business. Sometimes sales associate can have access directly to everything, but maybe the special output or inputs are forbidden, and these features are only available for a store manager for security reason, for example. So to use today in mobility an application like inventory tracking that allow to save time in stores, that allow also to accelerate and perform some process faster. And we notice that a reception, for example, of goods can be very, very quick with this kind of application, because you scan and automatically you synchronize, and you can display and analyze the possible differences between the real notes and the forecast one. So this is something that you can easily control with this application. So in terms of use case, just to go back on the page. So this is the current dashboard. So here I am like a store manager. I want to highlight some omnichannel flows into this solution. So the omnichannel flows automatically, if I have to receive, for example, a customer orders. So the customer order a product online. He selects, for example, the store as a point of collect. Automatically, when the warehouse transfer the merchandise to the store, I can see on my delivery notice and transfer notice, so I can put a filter if I want, that concern a transfer notice, because this order was managed by the warehouse. The warehouse transfer directly the merchandise from their location to the store. And as a store here, automatically I see the different documents. I can see if I click on one of them, the first one, for example, I can see that the different purpose about my this order documents. I can see which kind of shipment type it's concerned by this order, how many SKU will be concerned and will be expected on this order. And as a sales associate, when I have to manage the transfer notice and transfer reception in store, I can automatically control the package, scan the different item, and validate this document. So you will see here, I can scan the different products, and validate the entry. When I validate the entry, automatically I synchronize, because I'm connected on the Wi-Fi, I synchronize the document with the central database. So I change the status. Automatically, when I validate the reception of this order, I specify that this order right now is ready to be picked up. So the consumer will receive a notification by email or by a message that inform that he can come in store, collect the products, and automatically the current status is up to date. So the information is good, and I will satisfy my consumer. Another way is sometimes in terms of omnichannel processes. You see at the bottom here, we can have a dedicated section for pickup points. So the pickup points that concern only the retailers that define, for example, a specific area into the store where the customer can come and collect their package. Okay, that means in these features here, we don't have a real relation with the POS system, because as a store sales associate, my business, my operation will be for pickup orders, will be only first to do the reception, but without opening the box. I mean, I have an information here. I see that I have an order that I have to, I have a package that I have to do the reception in store. I have the name of the customer. I can see what is inside or not. It depends of the configuration. And here you see on the bottom of my screen, I have only the function which is validate the receipt, but I don't have to scan anything. I just need to validate the receipt when I receive the package in store, just to change the status of this order and say, that's okay, the package is here in my store, so the customer can come and collect it. And you will see that on my home page screen, automatically I decrease this section and I have a new one here, because the reception has been done and the delivery can be done when the customer come. And when the customer come, automatically, if I change here on the pickup points, when the customer come in store, what's happened? I can open. I can of course check with the customer that with the ID cards or with the passport that this is really the good customer. And when the customer come, I just need to click on the delivery button to specify that that's okay. The package is on the customer end right now, so this package is no more located in my store, because I do the delivery. So this is the kind of processes that we can manage here. We have also, sorry, the PowerPoint come back. Sorry for that. I can come back on my screen. So this is here. Yes. So what is important is also about all these documents. If it's a reception, if it's a transfer, if it's an order confirmation or a customer delivery, for all these documents that touch the stock topic, the inventory topic, when I validate a document, I can generate a printing document. In the same way that you manage it from the POS, we can do it directly from the mobile. And depending your device, if it's an iOS device, it could be done through AirPrint feature, for example, or if it's done from a PDA. We can embed into the PDA an Epson SDK or something like that to generate the printing functionality. So during this two use case, what you discover is first the iPhone vision, which is here, and a little bit later we will discover the Android format. So just to give you another vision about another feature. So something really new and important. This is the ability, for example, to manage special outputs and justify a reason for that. So sometimes when I select, for example, the transfer menu, I have the ability at the bottom here to specify special withdraw, and here to put automatically or manually, depend the configuration, a movement reason and an internal reference. We can have more fields. It will depend of your configuration. And after that, if I have an issue with a product, like a robbery, like a default, I can scan the different items concerned and automatically validate the entry. When I do that, automatically the synchronization can be done. And from the reporting in the retail department, in the head office, if they want to control all the special outputs done in all the store network, they can extract a report with a different reason and control that everything is aligned with the turnover and with the different key figures that you can have on your system. Also, something important, and that's a key topic that Rossignol highlighted this morning, is the ability for a sales associate. So this is an Android vision. When a customer asks for a product availability, automatically from the application, I can scan a reference. I can have a real-time vision of what is available in my store right now. So if it's a dimension item here, you see that automatically I have something in real time. So we have the physical counter, but we can display also the available counter. And for now, that display only the stock level of the store concern. We cannot see the inventory level of the other stores because this is an application focused on inventory process and focus mainly on optimization of that into the store. So you can see also the price list. If we are currently in a promotion period, we will have the information just below automatically to have the accurate information. And the last topic about the features is so we highlight a lot the application vision from the final user, but this one here, this is a web app. At the beginning of the project, we define with our consultants and with your team, we define some rules. And we define which kind of information will be displayed on the mobile application. So, for example, here, if I take the transfer notice document, during the beginning of the project, on the web app, we define which kind of fields we want to display when we have a document open that concern, for example, the transfer notice. I can add other fields if it's required. Of course, I can give some information if I want a print or not after validation, and I can define how many days and how many documents I want to store on my PDA directly. So in terms of end users feedback, I will insist and highlight this one on the bottom right corner, which is easy to use because we noticed after our customers' feedback that already use the application that the adoption of the interface, the adoption of the application is quick because the different users understood very well how you can browse into the application and how you can manage your processes. So I will finish this webinar with a quick success stories from Rossignol. So this morning during the French session, Simon and Lucille explain us a feedback about their inventory tracking implementation. So to give you a quick vision, so just as a summary, so Rossignol is a brand specialized in outdoor lifestyle and ski industry. This is a French brand. They have more than 35 stores, mainly in Europe. And at the beginning, they challenged us to do a pilot in Chamonix, mainly to test the application for the inventory topic and the reception of goods. So they did some tests during 2 weeks, and so they challenged their store manager and their sales associates to do also free inventory with the application. And after the 2 weeks, the retail department decided to launch a full implementation in all stores of this application. So right now, the application is currently introduced on all Rossignol stores. Most of the store have 1 or 2 devices directly. It depends of the format of the stores. It depends about the number of sales associates in the store. But by default, it's at least 1 device, of course, available into the store. In terms of use cases, the main topic is for them the inventory counts, because some years ago, when with their previous solution, when they did inventory cycle counts, they had some issues because they did some inventory directly with an old hardware PDA, and when they finalize the inventory, they need with the Cradle to put a TXT file directly on the POS system. And sometimes the store manager of the different stores said that this is not our business to do that. We are not IT people, we are business team, and it's not our business to do this kind of operation. For us, when we do inventory, it has to be simple and it has to be quick. At the end, when I validate a document, I need directly a synchronization. It's not in my job to manage a file, etc., etc. So that's why they saw and noticed a big difference thanks to inventory tracking. Also about the transfer, because in some area they have different stores in same cities, for example, and sometimes during important period like Christmas, like winter period, sometimes they need to increase the number of transfer in order to replenish a store that need a merchandise or a specific product, and sometimes it's faster to ask another store to do a transfer that ask the central warehouse with where the time can be and the delay can be longer to serve the customer. So to sum up their purpose, so the Rossignol team gave us some feedback that I will highlight here. So in terms of implementation, that you have to keep in mind is during the pilot in Chamonix, from the beginning, they involve the store manager and the different sellers, because these people are the key users of will be your key users of the application. So to involve this guy from the beginning were very powerful for them, because as a key user, they found this application more intuitive than the previous one. So it was very, very good to have a strong adoption. Also, what is key for them is with the automatic synchronization of documents after validation, they can perform inventories in a better way. And what is key for them is, thanks to inventory tracking, they develop a lot the free inventory operation. The free inventory operation allow to them to control more frequently their inventory level and allow to share discrepancies in real time. And as a retail director, as a head office department, I can have a look on my reports about this activity more frequently, and have something with fresh data on my reports. And in terms of implementation, because this is also important, in terms of IT point of view, they insist about the way to implement the solution that was smooth and quick. They did that because we only provide 2 or 3 days with the Cegid consultants to do the learning and to explain how the solution works, to do the first configuration. And after these pilots, as I explained, everything was implemented in the other stores of Rossignol network. So for some people which are interested in that, you will have the possibility to receive the Rossignol testimony that can be sent directly after the session to have more details on it. So just for now, I will, because we have a few minutes, we'll have a look about the different questions on the screen. So let